Hello guys and welcome back to Field of Glory Empires, where we're playing our first ever playthrough as Saba. This is what the world looks like. Macedonia looks bigger since the last I looked at them. Carthage is hardly existing right now. Rome's beating them up. The Antigonids look surprisingly healthy to my Imperator brain. Palmyra rejected an offer I sent them. We have conquered this right here, Elam. We have conquered it. It was an interesting battle. A bunch of Greeks. The Greeks were surprisingly strong. And we have a brickwork placed here, but with this just conquered bonus, it doesn't look too great. A drugs emporium produces drugs and herbs, and a decadence increase. Interesting. And then a trade center. This is a tier 3 commerce building. That's crazy. I have to put like all hands on food, on infrastructure, sorry. I put all hands on infrastructure if I want to maintain what's here. Like there's tier 3 buildings, and with just conquered penalties, that's not really very good. That's not a good sign at all. And well, there's enough food to go around for now. Man, look at this. Hub of merchant activity. This is cool. It's not like amazing. I'll try to keep this stuff, but it's gonna be rough to keep it there, especially with troops that need to recover. Although these troops are not particularly injured, so one turn of just chilling out and they should be good. These ones, meanwhile, are still just like going back to where it's safe, but honestly, they seem to have recovered already. I don't see anyone missing any effectiveness. That was faster than I expected. It's just that our food right here was so bad that I didn't want to stress it. And I still kind of don't want to stress it. I'd rather like sail around and then do another naval invasion or something. I don't want to run through a zone that has not enough food to sustain itself. This is kind of crazy. It's literally about to run out of food. I don't even know what's going to happen then. Pops are just going to start dying or something. Well, we can actually create this province. The capital would go here. And then the food would be shared. The remaining food. So that's maybe a good thing. What is the full province? Otherwise, it's just this. And this right here actually has the highest amount of culture. I can move the capital after the province is formed. So that's not that big of a deal. I just have to decon the province capital. It'll move to the next location that has the most culture. So I'll create the province now, so hopefully the shared food can stop too much death and chaos from happening. I guess I should just send you all the way down here with that plan if we... well, I don't know, actually. We have enough food right here for right now, to be fair. So, we don't have to go over there. We could just go back this turn knowing that it will get better, and since we recovered tremendously well. But for what? I guess to take Characene over here. 10 units, that's not so bad. The main areas I remember of the Seleucids that fell apart are a little hard to get. There's so many pops and special buildings there that they have 20, 30 plus stacks of units that are going to show up. That's not too great. Yeah, that's not too awesome. We need to go for whatever we can, but that's kind of not in the cards. So you would take 2 turns to just run that way. So start running back over there, recover as you will. At least for this turn, the food will come out of here. For next turn, it'll come out of this zone again. But hopefully we have enough just sitting around to survive through the penalties. And we'll take over more from Characene here when we do take it. And then more will come from elsewhere. Over here, we were recovering. And we had tested out some naval mechanics. And now we're pretty much ready to go on an offensive already. We just can't go anywhere that a siege is required. This would be a decent spot over here. As before, right? Like, these aren't the most settled locations, but there's another province right here that can be formed. There's also one right here with Persis. I just don't know if I want to go that close to Maria yet. I'd rather work on, like, what's around me and what I can directly connect with. And right around these zones would actually be good. Next turn, this guy can go attack there. My Ribia Orientalis army can go attack there. Take this, and then that's 2/3 of this province then we could probably form that no problem. And that would be pretty good. Maybe we could even just take over Persia while we're over here to fully complete that province. I'm not sure. A lot just depends on our good old neighbor of Moria, which is cooperative with me, right? And now the Antigonids, who they don't like me the most, but we're not exactly distant at this point. We are not neighbors yet. They don't trust us enough for this kind of deal. So cooperation's not really in the cards. Only 9% chance alliance. They have a lot of cooperations with a lot of different guys. They're at war with Pathologia, that's up there. They're at war with, I can't say that, Lysimakids. Can't say that really, with Egypt. They're like natural friends of us, because they like the same dudes we like, and we'll go to war with the same dudes that they dislike. Arabia being one of them. I still want to see, so no cooperation chance from Palmyra, but an alliance chance of 25% right now. That would help, because they also get along with the Antigonids. I would like to make friends with Palmyra, if possible. This collapse of the Seleucids has absolutely just changed the game. I kind of wish it was Egypt instead, but still. Hey, Nabatee's like surviving. In fact, look at this. Nabatee's surviving. I still don't know if I care to make any deals with them or anything, but they're surviving. They would be in my way if I did. And I don't know how long they'll survive for, but Egypt seems pretty distracted down here. They seem pretty darn distracted. I think we have an outstanding deal with Ethiopia. Yeah, we're trying to buy stuff from them. We're trying to buy a single location so I could have like a full province down here, as I've expanded navally for the first time ever. Some event involving the courts has gone through to reduce unrest, but we didn't really have much unrest to begin with, so that's good. Ooh, this is a bad culture decadence ratio, buddy. It's because, you know, we're expanding. Our age is at 26. Not the most bueno of things. We're done with building a worship place here. That raises the amount of culture we generate. That's good. We received one slave here after the fighting. We don't need this many slaves here, but not a lot I can do. There's an Ethiopian army here. For some odd reason. I don't know what they're doing here. I don't even know how they got here. I have no conclusion as to how this happened. But hey, like I mentioned, you guys are done healing. I never actually gave you the order, so let's give you the order to just go over there and try and conquer that for Moy. Thank you. Next, a lot of places we don't really have anything building, but we finished up here an orchard. So we have some food production. I could go for the shepherd house or the palisade. I'm going to go for the palisade. So we have some defenses up front. Gotta prioritize defenses a lot of the time. What did we build here? We built a stud, and we already have a palisade here, which is very good, very great. Money, not really a focus. It's all like we're needing more culture, honestly. This tribune, we don't have marble to really give it anything good, but the food would be useful. The charcoal pile would be useful. Yeah, let's start with the food. Let's get the ranch built. I'll take that. That works pretty well, if you ask me. In Pancha, we don't have a lot on culture. I'm definitely going to take a guy and put him on culture because we need more culture. We really need more culture at this point. I'm tempted to put just like more and more dudes on culture. We have an excess of citizens working on infrastructure. Yeah, just take all the excess guys working on infrastructure and then just put them like all on culture, I suppose. And so that's up to 180. I don't really know how much this will add up to, but it's just a place where we have a lot of excessive amounts of pops. And so that kind of just works out. We even have citizens on food, which is like, it's not bad. It's good. I could move them over because, you know, the dam provides food, a lot of buildings as well, onto culture as well. Because we're really short on culture. And this is where we just have like the most spare pops. So we have 6 dudes on that task right now, which is pretty nice. Food is also being generated very heavily from just elsewhere in the region as well. So I'm not so sure how much of this I actually care to have like so. think I might move one of those citizens back to food, and then move 2 citizens here over to culture in him jars. We have 5 just over there. Going from 1 to 2 to 5. That's less on food, but hey. And then, shit, I don't even know. This one, put it at 3 or 4. Just because that's kind of what we need right now. We need a lot of culture. Okay, I'll just get that up to 5. That should work hopefully pretty well. This is 4. Let's get you to 5 like that. I mean, I don't know if that was really the best. We'll move more things around. We need more culture production at this stage of the game. We just need a lot more, and it's most easily accessible in our home region. I'll put 3 more guys down here on culture, and the rest working on food should be fine. I see an easy 3 citizens here to move on to culture, and it's really not affecting the growth too much at all. A lot of it comes from the fact that we have so much food and health already anyway, that it's just a pretty good amount. We have 4 here now. I don't really have any more citizens to spare here. Not easily anyway, unless I just move slaves off of in this location. I could also just move slaves onto infrastructure too, but I think I'll just leave that be for now. And then here's another zone where we have 3 available citizens to move to culture. The food will be lesser in this region in general. It's just the place where we have the most spare citizens in general. And we have to just get them on culture. We pretty much have to. It's like a requirement at this point. Over here, we're still recovering from, well, raided. We did recover from the main thing that was impeding us originally. We barely have any infrastructure here, though. I don't even know if having a citizen working on money even makes any sense when we could just have infrastructure and speed up construction by that much. Yeah, alright, we'll just do it like that. The sooner we can build things, the sooner we could get things under control. Really, this front line, this front area is going to be special. These are very decadence-heavy locations, is one of the problems with the stuff we're taking over. What a surprise. Locations in the big decadent Seleucid Empire are, in fact, decadent. Who would have thunk it? Yeah, that's right. I think we lost 2 Arabian Cameliers in the fight over here that last time. I think that we lost that. And so Arabia Orientalis, we could pump out 2 more Arabian Cameliers pretty easily. Let's go ahead and pump out those 2 to reinforce that squad, that group. That's some manpower. That's a little bit of metal. No, I didn't lose 2 of those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I lost 1 Arabian Camelier. And then I lost 1 regular infantry. That's what I lost. Alright, well, we'll recruit those nearby. I mean, we can't really recruit in this location at the moment. Because we just conquered it. Apparently that's a restriction, didn't know that. So, 1 Arabian Camelier and 1 regular infantry. That's what we will recruit to replace our losses there. And at some point, I've already gone over the stuff we might have to build to expand from there. We got a lot of potential buildings that will be done soon. That will be nice. And with that eating away at some manpower, money not really a concern. And metal, maybe production more of a concern than anything. Because if I wanted to add a better front line, I would want to add more heavy infantry. Probably just like 2 of them. But like if I did that, you could pretty much ignore what's here. And then just replace like this by saying, all right, I'll just add more regular infantry. This is probably the easiest one to expand in that way. The others, we're looking at heavy infantry, and that would consume 4 metal each. We're talking 8, 12, 16 metal each. That's a lot more than 0. Yeah, than 0. Certainly is, in fact. I can definitely afford to expand that one, though, the one with the elephants, to have 2 more regular infantry. Because I do know we would need that front line expanded eventually. That's just extras, I think. That's just spares for the bigger stuff. It's accounting for having a front line and siege relevant units kind of being separate. But also all these elephants will die eventually. So that's definitely the best one to try to get up to 24 first. The heavy infantry we could probably go for sooner rather than later. It just would be expensive and hard to do. So we're already recruiting some replacements anyway. I think I'll just leave the rest of that alone for the time being. And we will simply proceed into the next turn and see what the world has in store for us. There's no fights that will happen this turn. In fact, next turn it looks like we'll have 3 different attacks that we're going to do, and that will be interesting. As long as Arabia doesn't like declare war on me, we're good. Is that Ethiopia trailing up the fucking Nile? I think it is. It's quite ballsy of you, sir. That's quite ballsy. Any buildings are more efficient. They have the benefit of bonus trade goods. Ooh. They don't trigger trading deals. So they must be available locally. I see. Slave markets. Buy, sell, or disperse slaves. Disperse them. I don't know if I really need to, but do it. People of Astantania felt that the abandoned local palace would be more useful as a source of stones and turned it into infrastructure. That's smart. Yeah, that would help a lot. That sped up the production by a decent bit. And now I got a progress token. That is always good. So, next turn. Ooh. Yeah, the food. I hope they don't arrive and then, like, they're out of food and they die. I don't think they will. Because... Oh, this... Wait, is this part of that? Oh, this is part of that, too. Okay. Well, they have some food, too. Yeah, so there's some forage value. Expected army food usage. I mean, if it comes from food as well... from the rest of the province, then hopefully they end up all right. I mean, if they don't, then this shit's gonna hurt. But from my understanding, the food should be shared just in the region. So the fact that we have any positive at all, which is mostly coming from back here at this point, means that that should be okay. That should be fine. Meanwhile, the other army sailing across with the elephants will land and attack there. And then Arabia Orientalis, we will go attack right there. Starting to form up a new province, the province of Elymais. I don't think we can really jump on Acadia because the Antigonids have 2 of them, so there's really not a lot of point. And Mesopotamia Inferior would be so difficult to get. We finished a salt mine at Lathrippa. That is salt and more food, which is obviously very, very useful. Man, the herbalist really is the easiest thing to build over here, but not the thing we really need the most of. I'll take the stud, because that's just more food. And then moving along, we have the city walls that are done over in Itamos. That's pretty good. The orchard would be cheap and easy. Very cheap, very easy, in fact. Yeah. I would love the public's work. Well, we only have 1 slot, so fuck it. Let's just queue up the public works there. That would be helpful as well. We finished the orchard back here as well. Let's just move this guy off money. I sometimes move them onto money, but then I'm like, I don't need money. It's fine. Let's see. We'll take an anchorage over here, probably. Yeah, that's where you can get your money from. It's all right. Large warehouse has been done. Has been finished over here. And that gives me a fuck ton more infrastructure, which is always good at the site of the dam. It's always good at the site of the dam. City walls in our capital. Yes, please. No slot usage. And a warehouse is completed in Himjar as well. Well, a normal size warehouse, not a large one, but we don't have the ability to really build much else. Some things are going to be building way quicker because we've just built up all of these growth spots that there's barely anything to build in this region right now, which is funny. Well, in that case, let's just move one of these citizens here over to culture, so we have 5 there as well. Hopefully that's making our culture do a lot better. That's what I can hope. Can't feel assured of it. I didn't really check down here last turn. I didn't. But this is province-wide, so all the infrastructure is shared anyway. Under pacification for 1 turn still. Not too bad. That'll be nice and fixed up pretty soon. This place is basically fixed up, but it just has nothing but an anchorage. And building anything here would just take forever as well. I'd gladly take that palisade. Egypt rejected our deal, so I can also try this. I forget if that was last turn or this turn. They won't, like, become a client state. That won't happen, but I asked them to cede region, specifically Asalia. There it is, 18. And then I give you, we have to do this again, units. The other Cameliers are there now. I'll just do the archers. 28% chance. Give you 4 Abyssinian archers. proposed the treaty. That's right. It's something I'm going to want eventually, is archers, because they're just way better at support than skirmishers are. That's going to be hard to do a swap of, because it's going to get pretty expensive pretty quickly. They don't have a metal upkeep, honestly, so money is actually just the main limiter. What I'd probably do is make it so that I can actually do something with those skirmishers. Maybe use them as defensive units rather than just throwing them away, because they are pretty cheap. I mean, making more would be easy later if I needed them. The goal would be to not need them, though, right? The goal would be to not need them. But their upkeep of is just not a lot. 3 manpower, 3 money. The 3 manpower is probably the worst part of it. Replacing them actually might not be that terrible of an idea. Although, yeah, that's right. I remember. It's just we didn't have... Well, we didn't have a lot of equipment. We have some. But we still barely have any. So pumping out the archers would be long and inefficient and increasingly costly. Man, there's some pretty massive nations up here. Like Sakra, these big tribal hordes at war with Moria and Arakosia. Yeah, those must be annoying. And damn, all these Iranian rebels. These are just the former Seleucids. It's just going to be a big, like, surge of attacks over here. Certainly. I think the Antigonids have already been spreading over here, unsurprisingly, right? The downside to this starting location is I'm just stuck behind a bunch of Alexander's heirs. Something over here probably would have been easier. We probably could have unified Britannia by now, but it's fine. We got the simplest possible start to figure things out. Let's go ahead into the next turn now. Turn 88, the year 223 BC. We're nowhere near this 500 turn limit, but hey, here's the first battle. We expect this one to go pretty well. Let's go ahead and start it. Our skirmishers attacking. Now imagine if they were archers. Initially getting some heavy infantry up front. The warriors kicking some ass. They have those eastern archers in the front. I don't understand why those are literally in the front line. And the urban militia are in the rear. Wow. Oh. Mercenary hoplites are terrifying a little bit. But it's fine because we wiped out most of their front line. And now we had enough to do a pursuit. And we hurt them enough to actually win the battle. So we've effectively taken that. And now for this, I hope we're not too fucked up. I hope we're not too fucked up from lack of food. What is this? This is the front? This is so I've never seen a front this tiny. Wow. Alright, well, that'll do something. Hillmen. It's a marsh. I've never seen terrain frontage this tiny. We've been fighting in deserts. That's why we need this size of army. But that was enough to do a pursuit, and we killed more of their units, and it's not a draw. We won. There's not any room to maneuver for cavalry here. Holy shit. Terrain is a big deal in this game. It's a big, big deal. I don't know if it's as big a deal if you're fighting the battles in Field of Glory 2, but Jesus. And now over here, the elephant army has landed. Skirmishers firing. Elephants going forward, attacking, kill some hillmen. They had a lot of skirmishers, so that kind of hurt. We seem to be doing pretty well. As we have cavalry to meet theirs as well. Their front line doesn't seem exceptionally strong, even if they did kind of exhaust our elephants. Ooh! There goes those Arabic Cameliers. Ouch. Well, there you go. There you go. And there it is. Only one Camelier lost. That's not that big of a deal. It could be worse. I do tend to have spares of things. Eventually. That's what I like to have for my military. We're down 2 in the ranking of culture decadence. Trading is most likely between either your own regions or with those of an ally, so long as the 2 regions are within the appropriate distance of each other. Okay. Yeah, I've seen it in my own regions. Change our civilization society. Change our nation qualifier. What is this? Have over 5,000 money and owned capital. So, there's nothing in the manual about this at all. There's nothing in the tooltips about what any of this does. But it turns out that this is this. It's a faction modifier, not a qualifier. I don't know why they word it like that. But we have traders. And I'm fine with that one, honestly. I don't really know what the other ones do. I'd have to literally go around looking at, like, other nations and seeing what they have. If I can even view such a thing from here. I can, yes. So, like, Rome. I don't even know if any of these is a qualifier. Barbarians, I think, come with military ones. I'm not sure. You can even buy your own, which doesn't make a lot of sense. But that's what that is. I'm sure with game experience, I'll learn what they all are eventually, right? Palmyra rejected my offer again. You son of a bitch. 25% chance. I have terrible luck with the odds in this game. We soundly defeated raiders that came for Lathrippa. Jesus Christ, so many raiders, so many raiders. We marched in and conquered 3 different locations at once. The food here was not great. The garum shop was disassembled. I did that. I chose to do that. And that worked out okay. Here in Characine, they had a fishery, a crafter district, a harbor, brickwork, and some other stuff. Let me get that citizen out of food. Oh, maybe no, you stay in food? Jesus. Get these guys out of money into infrastructure. We can't really build anything because we're just negative here in general. Pottery. I'd rather have infrastructure exist in general. These all have like just conquered, so they're gonna do terribly. Except right here. The food's being shared, but I really don't know if I would say that it's enough. When do these modifiers run out? This one already lost it a long time ago. This only has it for 1 more turn. This has it for 4, and this has it for 4. So it'll run out here, which is good. Or we're gonna just run out of food. We might. I mean, no, we just took over a lot of food. We just took over a lot here, so that's good. And both of these locations, well, this one doesn't actually have a lot of food. This one does not have a lot. A flax field barely produces any food at all. A slave market, a palisade. Wow, dude, I want all of these. I want all of these. And there's only 1 building slot here. That's the funny thing. I guess put a palisade there. This is already building a public works. I mean, that seems fine to me. We just took this over, so it's obviously not very well off. Ooh, and they have a mercenary recruitment center here, which is funny. I can already make the province. There you go. But I can make the province, which is going to put the capital here. Persia has the actual best place. They have a grand palace. Wow. That's pretty impressive. I don't have anything like that. But now we've also taken over this location, which has more culture than this location. Barely. The governor's palace has already added, I think, culture. I'm not sure. To the point where this is now just like the new de facto capital. I mean, I don't really care which one of these is the capital. I really don't care. Population, well, I guess this is a marsh. This is a plain. I don't know what land cost is. But I'm assuming that's the money it takes to build or to do something special there. So it's probably best if the capital's in a plain anyway. Less defensible, but probably better for building. We know the elephant stack is going to need another Arabic cameleer, so we'll recruit that. It's not a lot in the grand scheme of things. We are maintaining our manpower and everything. That's the only replacement we really need. The Saba army that has been pumped out, I don't know why there's Ethiopians over here still, can head in that direction to go replace. I don't just like target that and just make your way to them however you please. And then we have these replacements over here. This is for this army, the Arabia Orientalis army. Yeah, 1 more regular infantry, 1 more camel, and then that should work out hopefully pretty well. However, we are out of time for this episode, so we'll continue this on the next one. For now, thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.